can't take no pleasure in killing nothing. Just some things you gotta do. Don't mean you have to like.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
You want to know what happens to an eyeball when it gets punctured? You got any idea how much blood jets out of a guy's neck when his throat's been slit?
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
What up, everyone? DJ Anubis here with you on Metal Radio Podcast, here with my great friend, Mr. Tony the Dead. We are the Ghouls of Midnight, where every week we alternate picks of a movie we go back and revisit or check out something brand new to review. And of course, this time around, my pick is 1978's Behind Convent Walls. Oh, he's got it there. He's even got the fancier version. Directed by Walerian Borowczyk. I know I butchered the fuck out of that, but if you're not familiar with this guy's work, which at the time, up until recently, I didn't realize he was the same guy who did this movie called The Beast, which I saw some time ago, and that's even crazier.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. So the synopsis here is: on the surface, the women at the convent are your average nuns. However, what they get up to in their spare time is far from what you expect from nuns. So this is definitely during the whole nunsploitation thing of the 70s. Is a big deal back then. Yeah, it's a crazy thing, man. This director, he loves to push the envelope in terms of sexuality. But there's really like, as I'm watching it, I'm still trying to put shit together. I've seen this like 2 or 3 times, and I still don't quite get it all. But
Right.
let's do this real quick. Well, I'm gonna play the trailer for people just so you can get an idea what this shit's all about before we dive in.
Okay.
Dearest Auntie, could I beg a tiny favor?
Let's hear it.
There are nights when I can't get to sleep at all. I pray and meditate.
Oh, help this poor, frustrated sinner.
I humbly prostrate myself at your feet, and in those moments I get a powerful desire to rush downstairs and get on my knees on the chapel and talk to Jesus at the altar.
Now go directly to the chapel and pray for God's forgiveness.
Yes, Father, what's on your mind?
Really fornicated inside the convent with a man.
Satan hovers near each of you. Any of you could be chosen by the King of Darkness.
From this hour on, should I commit any mortal sin, it shall only be to get punished all the more vehemently. I repent, O Lord, and beg forgiveness. Rodrigo Landriani,
No.
deflowered this body.
No!
And it was beautiful!
So yeah. So your basic story is just, these nuns are at this convent and we're automatically kicked into like where some of the help around, like the male help, come in delivering food and doing like, labor work around the convent, end up becoming like basically sex partners for some of these nuns. And then we have lesbian nuns even. And again, like all this shit's going on. Like there's that part early in the film where they kind of just start playing music and they're like dancing and getting crazy.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere. And of course we have the one matriarch who is pissed off that they're crazy as hell. And she's got one particular daughter. And I'm trying to remember if that's being the character that is. Let me look here real quick. Sister Clara. I'm trying to remember. All I remember this chick is Sister Veronica, but I can't quite remember which one she plays. It's hard to tell.
I think she's the one who that did the flowers. I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Maybe in the eyes. Yeah. But yeah, even though it's not gory or horrific, it does take kind of like a dark turn towards the end of the film.
Yeah.
But give me your impressions of your experience with this, because initially you thought you had seen it, but you actually own it, but you just now watched it for the first time. So what was your feelings on that?
Yeah, like I said, like you said, I thought that because there's a specific scene in this that you were telling me, I'm like, oh, I think I saw this one, and it turns out they did do this in 2 different movies. But these kind of movies, like I love Nunsploitation, but they're all kind of the same because they're not like just nuns, and then like one of the movies that I have from the Nunsploitation, I can't remember which one it is, but like they think the devil is influencing all of them and that kind of stuff.
It's probably the Devils.
Yeah. It's not the fact that they're at like young girls and like they have hormones and they're forced to go there, you know, except for that one. She wants to, yeah. God. I went to Catholic school for 4 years.
Yeah.
There's no good looking nuns ever, ever, ever. And they would not be wearing makeup as well.
Right. True.
Because they were all fuckable. All of them. They were all hot. That is, I said to Shane, if that was the fucking way it was, I would have been a priest. But I would have.
I would have been a priest because I would have losing my virginity like left and right. I'm born again virgin. No, I'm not.
Jesus is in my penis. Suck him out. You know.
Well, technically,
yeah.
he is.
Boy, oh boy. Well, they are married to God and in whatever. Married to Jesus.
And that's always I found that the interesting thing because the matriarch's daughter, who was actually one of the more straight-laced ones, she ends up going full Monty towards the end, but she's trying very hard to keep her vows, but she's like telling her mother, like, I can't sleep, I've got desires, and it's desires for Christ. And so she tries to find avenues to relieve her desire that she can't sleep. So she gets a hold of that piece of wood and makes basically a phallic out of it, a dildo, and has one of the other nuns like draw his face on the end.
Yeah.
So she takes her little pocket mirror and she's kind of like doing herself, which you talked about. Like it's pretty explicit. Like you don't see the penetration, but you kind of do. Like it's from the above angle.
Yeah.
And so she basically feels like she's okay with her faith because she's doing it with Christ. Like that's how she sees it. But then you have other nuns who are kind of like actually banging dudes that are sneaking into the convent, and the two pair that are like gay, lesbian chicks. And it's really, really crazy. But then we had the one that actually got caught with the guy, and she's having to repent. But then I think maybe you can correct me if you picked up on it, I think she's the one that ends up poisoning the matriarch at the end. Because what happens is the matriarch's in bed,
I think,
and she ends up passing away.
Yeah.
And so then all the nuns are freaking out that she's dead. But there's something that I saw like with either the teacup or whatever, and I think the one girl that got caught, that might be Sister Clara, I think. I don't remember exactly, but
yeah, she's the one who gave the tea all the time, and then the other one gave her opium, just like a little bit to like get her to sleep. They didn't have any intentions, but I guess the head nun was just trying to keep order, to be honest. I mean, you got a bunch of horny teenage girls for the most part, and they don't look teenagers. They're probably like supposed to be like 18 or so, but whatever.
Yeah, they all look like they're in their 20s.
Yeah. But she's just trying to keep order because it is a convent, and it's just it's crazy. Like she comes into their rooms, just barges in, and then she starts stabbing their bed to look for stuff.
Yeah, the fact she had a fucking sword, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and her cane, like, and it's like, why don't you just lift the mattress? Why are you stabbing it? Because she's stabbing it. She's like, oh, lift the mattress. Here's letters. Just lift the mattress. What are you stabbing? I don't know. But I could say, though, like head nuns are terrible.
Yeah.
I still remember the nun that we had, Sister Sorrel. She's probably long dead and burning in hell if it exists. But she was terrible. She was a bitch. Sister Sorrel, and then there was another one. Oh man, I have stories about the nuns. They were terrible.
Olivia Pascal, who did the masturbation scene.
Yeah.
That there's a body double that did the insertion portion of it, but but apparently the producer said the producer wanted me to do a very explicit scene, and he got it. That was the explicit scene that they wanted.
Fuck yeah.
So I'm not even sure if that was part of Walerian's like natural or initial writing, because like he's directing it, but if the producer's asking for a more explicit scene, it's like, damn, dude, have you not seen the beast?
Right. Well, did you saw the penetration, right? Like she's
Yeah,
like on her like back, and then she switches to
the
on her knees.
behind, yeah, yeah.
Okay, because like that's what was shocking. I was like, wow, from seeing the
Well, first
beast,
time I
I
ever
kind of
saw
expected
this,
it.
that's what got my attention. I was like, wait, am I watching a porn? What is this? Because
And
I
the
mean,
drawing
literally,
looks like it's terrible looking. Like, holy fuck. Better off just getting the Bible and just like holding it up to and doing it with it. I don't
well,
know.
I thought it was funny too because when her mother, the matriarch, comes in and basically catches her at the end of it, she's like, what is this for? And so she starts actually like simulating what she was doing, and the matriarch's like, "Oh my god,
In my presence?
yeah, right, you
No
dare
shame?
have no shame."
You asked her what she was doing.
Right.
I don't know.
This shit was nuts, man.
They're all
I just
sex
had,
crazed.
yeah, but that's kind of the fun about it all too. Okay, so Marina, this is the girl that was actually the one that would serve her tea or whatever, and she's the one that got caught with the other girl because she's the one that's like kind of brazen. She's all, "Oh, I love having men here." She's talking shit, and of course, end up making her repent or whatever. But
Yeah.
I think she was so mad at the matriarch that she either over OD'd her or whatever. But
He's like, I'm dying.
yeah,
She wasn't even that bad. Like she just, like I said, she was running the place, and they're the ones like going crazy. But compared to
was
like some of them in the movies that I've seen, she was like a puppy dog. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I think because if I remember the Devils, which has Oliver Reed and Vanessa Redgrave's character is the one that's like got like a hump, and she's like trying to accuse Reed's character, which he's a piece of shit because he was fucking all these chicks left and right in that film. But that's one of those crazy nun films too, though. And then there's like a slew of other ones that are out there. It's just as you said, it was nunsploitation back in that day.
I love it. I don't know why. I know why. I like seeing them, like I said, put in. They're supposed to be so high and mighty and close to God, and then they just like give into like everything that's not cool in their eyes. I really
Right.
thought that Father Luigi, I thought he was gonna like force one of them to like go down on him or something.
Yeah, either him or even the matriarch. I thought she would end up hooking up with the older priest. Like I
Me
kept
too.
expecting that to happen because one thing we learned is the one priest that's sort of like local, his nephew or son had stopped by. He's the one who ends up like hooking up with the matriarch's daughter at the end. And that was a weird sequence too, because like at first he's all pissed off that she shows up at his cabin or whatever, and she's trying to tell him that he's in danger because everyone's going to put him for sexually harassing the girls or something. I don't know, but
Yeah.
then he's like, "I'm going to report you," and then he takes her back to the convent, ends up banging her. I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I don't understand what the hell was going on there. And like all of a sudden he's like, okay, I'll do it while she's unconscious.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what the hell? Very
So,
strange.
oh, that's interesting. Okay, so the edition you have from from Arrow,
Yeah.
apparently the cinematography by Luciano Tavoli was also somebody. He's also worked on Suspiria with Argento.
Oh.
So, and apparently there was the final performance of Barzikti's wife, Ligia Brannis. I'm not sure which one she played, but she was apparently in the film too.
Hmm.
Did you watch any like bonus materials on your disc at all?
No, I didn't get a chance. I watched it right up till I had to go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, honestly, I don't even know what. Like, I know what it's about, but like, there's really no story to it.
No,
Really,
and I think that's always been his weirdness because people, the one complaint you hear about this movie is the editing. Like they always say the editing is really weird, and I can see that because he's kind of like all over the place, you know. And that's why, again, by the time you start getting to the end of the film, and all of a sudden the matriarch dies, you're kind of like, because at first I thought she just kind of like died from a heart attack, and then like all of a sudden we start seeing Veronica, you know, Sister Veronica, like throwing away some sort of vial
yeah.
out into the river or whatever it was, and then like hiding something, and then of course another chick ended up dying too. I can't remember how she died. I forgot, but they
I
just
think they
started
both
dropping like
drank the
flies.
poison.
Uh-huh.
I think they both drank the poison because she had
Oh,
a
did they?
spoon. She had a
Yeah.
spoon, and he's like same poison as the other one.
Yeah.
But
So
death in the convent, death in the convent. Like, oh my
and
god!
then our priest guy is like trying to get to the main girl, and he's like, well, wait, who did you have sex with? Your nephew. And she's got her boobs out like all time.
Rodrigo.
Yeah, Rodrigo.
And he's like,
He's like, it can't be. I'm like, what do you think was gonna happen, dumbass?
I know, really. He didn't even recognize him at first. He's like, just
Right?
me without a beard. It's like, what? Oh my god.
Yeah, and it was a funny thing with him too, because he went around as like a drawer for religious art. So he gets stopped by a couple of revolutionary guards on his way to the convent, and like they're looking at his stuff, and then he goes about his way. But then I don't know about you, but when his priest uncle or whatever is looking at his art, it's almost like I wanted to say almost like, is it because he likes guys? Like, is he a kitty tiddler? What's going on here? Because he was really excited about the art, but he wanted to keep it hush hush.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't figure out what the deal was there with that.
Well, he is a priest.
Yeah, exactly. But they don't really elaborate on him at all, you know,
Yeah.
outside of like his interactions with the matriarch and stuff. So
What year was this supposed to be? I don't remember. I don't
the
even know if they
initial
said.
time period.
Yeah.
Oof. Let me see if I can figure it out here.
Because I don't know if they really said, but it's definitely not like, I don't think it was modern.
No, I think it, if I recall, maybe I'm just confusing with another movie. I thought maybe 1600s. I don't know.
Maybe. It feels like back then.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's definitely far. Yeah, it doesn't give me dates.
Well, they unalive themselves, but uh they probably, knowing what was coming to them, like, because back then punishment in the church was brutal, like
Mm-hmm.
death even. So it's all
Yeah.
in the eyes of God. Yeah.
Says
This is why
masturbation.
we need to let priests marry, so that they don't touch little kids. And I think nuns should be able to, I don't know, marry too. I don't know.
Well, the thing was interesting, and that they mentioned was that a lot of these girls were sent to the convent because their families needed money or something. Like it was something weird that there was some financial gain that was helping their family, so the girls would go there. And so a lot of the girls were upset because they're like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
And so I'm just saying to myself, like, well, why not just leave? You know, like get the fuck out. You know?
Yeah. I had another thing too, like that's probably what the guys were saying, like, oh, like you don't really see them pillow talk to them. They just kind of like, here comes the scene and they're fucking on the hay, you know. But like they probably like gave them like, oh, I'll take you out of here, and then like that's why like, oh, this one's my lover, and he's gonna take me out of here, and then it's like, oh no, he left for America or something, and it's like, what the hell? Now
Yeah.
I'm stuck
Yeah.
here. So
Says
but yeah,
its lack of proper script plot means most of the story is driven by the visual. Okay.
yeah. There's a nice little scene too with of the violin, like on the on your
Yes.
cover.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. She really was digging that too. Like, and at
yeah,
first I thought it was just like she loved her music, and then you find out she loves it just a little too much.
a little bit, a little bit. Hey, they don't have much there. You gotta take what you can. They can't even have mirrors. Like,
Yeah,
what
they had
the
to hide
hell?
their mirrors all the time. Yeah,
Yeah,
even the Matriarch's like, "Where'd you get this?" I'm
it's a
like, well,
family
"Does it
heirloom.
matter?" It's like, "Does it really matter?" It's like,
Yeah,
"Come on now." All right.
those lesbians though, they were like everything. Like at the end was going crazy, and they're like running back and trying to get in the room, and the titties are just flopping around, and then it's like it feels like a Porky's movie or like Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, because like the dancing scene when the two girls went to like one of the booths and like they were doing like that whole like breaking the fourth wall thing where the camera's on them and they're like closing the shade, you know.
Yep, it was hot. I mean, I like Bush, and they all had Bush, and uh, yeah,
Yeah, I was just saying that whole like masturbation theme just it gives a whole new meaning to "fuck me, Jesus." You know.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
So, how would you rate Behind Convent Walls?
Oh, jeez. Uh, I mean, it's not a great movie or anything, but it's hot. And I like seeing nuns put in bad situations. Just fuck them. Uh, Probably a 5. I'd say
Okay.
it's a 5. Right, kind of in the middle.
Yeah, I think I'm somewhere between like a 6 and a 7, because I do enjoy it for just the TNA aspect and the ridiculousness of it all. But it's not like a great story by any means. Like there's just nothing really going for it. But if you know the director, you know exactly what he's doing here, and it's like I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not anything that you're gonna write home about, and
No.
certainly isn't gonna get you any Oscars.
No. He also did Immortal Tales, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen that one, I don't think, but
I
yeah, I've
think
seen that's in his line.
that one's better than the Beast, but
Well, the Beast is like a whole other level. Like that was,
yeah,
I mean, you think this one would shock you? You should see the Beast. The
is
Beast is
the Beast is the one with the horse, right?
the horse and
In the
the
very
guy in the
beginning.
yes, yep,
Okay.
yep, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, what are we doing here? What is this?
Oh, right in the beginning. Thank you.
Right,
What am I getting
exactly.
into?
Yeah, I was just like, dude, like all the money shots and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's like these movies were released as like mainstream releases. So it's like I'm like, how did he even get away with half of this shit? Because I know the Beast was banned for quite a while, but like
Yeah.
this stuff, man, it's like holy shit.
I'm sure America had it censored to hell, and then like Europe had it like a certain cut. Like
Yeah.
they're a little more lenient. It seems like at times some things are
Sometimes,
lenient, and then sometimes it's not. It's weird,
yeah.
but yeah, it's definitely not a movie that would be made nowadays unless they would make it. It would be artsy. I mean, they did
Yeah.
make Poor Things, and that was pretty sex all over the place and stuff. So
Yeah. So do you have your pick for next week or no?
I do.
Ooh.
I'm going to have us watch The Weatherman
The Weatherman.
with
Okay.
Nicolas Cage. It's on Pluto.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with The
All right.
Weatherman. I haven't watched it in a long time, And the other movie I had two picked. The other one's another Nicolas Cage movie. So either way, you're getting Nicky Cage.
Kid Nick Cage. Getting some Nick Cage, man.
Nick Cage. Maybe I'll have a Nick Cage month on my channel. I would love that.
So we're gonna have some Mandy action.
We'll get Mandy. We'll have the Weatherman. We'll have Adaptation. We'll have Dream of Me.
Is Weatherman a comedy or what is it?
Like a dark comedy. It's not like funny, but it's a dark comedy. Yeah.
Okay.
Very good movie. I mean, I remember really liking it.
Cool deal.
Yeah.
Anything else coming on your channel?
No, just that next week, and then the whole thing on Kevin's channel next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then my birthday on his channel with the Dead movies.
Yeah, I watched the 90 version yet last night again.
Yeah.
Actually, I know I'm not going to get into a big ass review, but I actually enjoyed the ending more than the original on that one. Yeah.
Agreed. I think they did. We'll talk about it another time, but I think they, because of how the original ended.
Yeah. I just like their approach better. For me, about a couple hours from now, I'll get together with Kevin, speaking of the devil, for Cinematic Synergy as we review the Golden Voyage of Sinbad. And then later tonight, Neko and I will be joining Olvin, or AKA Connor, on his channel for James Bond Live and Let Die review. So we'll be reviewing that. And then, of course, Sunday, we'll be joining Sci-Fi Century for Conan the Barbarian review on his channel. So that's what's immediately coming up for me.
Cool. Sounds
all right,
good.
everyone. Well, please go like and subscribe to Mr. Tony the Dead, and please like and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy it. We love the support, love the comments. Drop down below what you think about Behind Convent Walls, if you've even seen it.
Yeah.
And if not, we still recommend it regardless. At least once.
That scene alone is incredibly hot.
Yeah,
I look like that's my head.
Yeah, you do. You're so sexy. Anyway, thank you very much, folks. We will see you next time on the Ghouls of Midnight.
Yeah.
Ho!